Okay, I mean, how about we start by explaining what we're gonna do?
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna let random wheel generators pick what we draw, right?
Yes.
But we haven't decided what we're going to spin yet. So,
Nah.
what suggestions do you have?
Well, let's start with the supernatural creatures.
Okay. Should I add like vampire
Oh,
wolves also?
yeah, maybe like a werewolf.
Yeah, I'm
Do-
getting these off the Sims.
Do we
This is my
do
inspiration.
we like werewolves?
Man, I don't know if I wanna draw a fairy.
Okay, off with her head. Remove her.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine for now. Or should we do like elves?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, like, do you know like halflings from Baldur's Gate? We could do that if you want. Oh, not halfling, tiefling. It's like a
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
devil.
Yeah, tieflings are cool.
Okay. Anything else?
I think we're okay for now. I mean, there are orcs, but I don't really like orcs.
Yeah, let's decide shit that we actually would like to draw.
Yeah.
No shade. So I'm spinning it.
Yeah, spin it.
Oh.
Okay.
Going good. Okay, vampire.
Just in time for Halloween.
Should we do genders? What do you
Yeah,
wanna
sure,
do?
okay.
Okay.
Maybe like genders, then we can do like theme, like dark or
Oh, yeah.
right.
Man, please don't let it be a man.
I know, right?
Okay.
Okay, I'm liking this.
It's good so far. Okay, let's do. What theme should we do?
Let's start like generally. Like
Okay.
definitely dark, maybe like creepy spooky or something.
Okay, yeah. But what would the difference be between dark and spooky?
When it comes to spooky, I think of like gore. But do we want to get into that? Not like
Okay,
gore, but
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Okay, and then dark is kind of more goth, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. And what else should we add?
We can go like steampunk, right? Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk vampire.
Yeah. Maybe like medieval.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm having a brain fart right now. I don't know what else we could do. Maybe like Victorian. Would you?
Isn't that in medieval?
Medieval is kind of more fantasy. Like Victorian is a little later. It's a different fashion. Let me show you. Like medieval vampire. Like it's like.
Oh, these
older.
are cool.
And then I guess Victorian. Wait, what am I typing?
Victorial.
Oh, it's the same images. Okay. But
that's what I'm saying. Okay.
I don't know. We don't have to do Victorian if it confuses you. But you know, Victorian is kind of more like, you know, this whole situation.
I see. Yeah, it's like modern compared to medieval.
Yeah. Would you fuck with that?
Sure. Yeah, add it.
Okay. Are we done?
What if we put like another modern one?
Okay, like completely
maybe
modern.
Like, I think that's gonna be a little boring. So maybe like
I agree.
Maybe like well, my first thought was hippie, but I don't really like hippies.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Like a 2000s vampire.
I don't know. I guess if it comes to like if the wheel ends up being on modern, wouldn't the vampire look more like they're just wearing a costume?
True.
So it kind of takes away from it.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Okay. So is this what we're
spin it? Spin it, girl.
Oh. I'm sorry. I was so scared to do the cyberpunk one. Okay.
Girl, I was terrified as well, but it sounds so unique.
Okay, do you want to do anything else?
Maybe the style of the illustration.
Okay, sure.
Like maybe it's gonna be like a sad illustration or a dynamic one.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay, we're doing the classic then.
Yeah, it's pretty classic. Should we try to add a spin to it?
Yeah, maybe fashion, or I mean, if we do like hair color and stuff, I think it's gonna be a little whatever.
Yeah. Should we wait? Simstrates. Right.
Yeah, okay.
Because that could give us like for fashion also, depending on what we get.
Okay. So we're gonna go off the three ones.
I guess. I don't know if it's gonna have a Sims 3 traits generator because. Oh yeah, it does.
Oh.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
Jeez.
Girl, I can't even tell. Athletic?
Athletic. Okay.
Buff?
Muscly vampire.
How many times should we spin it? Like 3 or 5?
Maybe 3.
Okay.
And if it's boring, we can do more.
Okay. Social butterfly.
So we're making a stallion.
I don't know if a Asterion is like a social butterfly. He's faking being social.
Oh.
I feel.
Okay.
Good.
Good.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
definitely
think.
not a Asterion. Should we do one more maybe?
Yeah.
Because good is like nothing to me.
Whatever.
Just, yeah, very boring. Clumsy.
That's a difficult one, but I like it.
I'm just doing one more and we'll see.
Sure.
Ambitious. Girl, all of these are so lame. What?
Yeah, I know.
Like, they're not giving enough. Wait, let me see these.
Okay.
Athletic.
Oh, athletic.
Also, child of the ocean and horse lover girl.
Or yikes.
Nah. We pretend this did not happen. Rancher. Proper girl. Stop. Oh, what are these?
Yeah, I don't think this is it.
Overachiever, loves outdoors, and self-absorbed.
What if we do like something for the background? Are you into that?
Are we gonna draw a background?
Not necessarily. I mean, are you gonna do a flat one? What are you thinking?
Well, yeah, maybe we could add like a border or little elements, whatever.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, kind of like, I don't know, maybe like this,
Sure.
I don't think I would do, like this is a bit too much, I think.
Okay.
But maybe something like that. Maybe we could make it look like a card, kind of.
Oh.
Or we could
Okay.
try to make it look like a book cover, if you're into that.
Yeah, sure. So we're just gonna do like a border,
Yeah, yes.
stuff like that.
Maybe, maybe like that. I don't know, whatever you like, so we can incorporate graphic design into it a bit also. Just with the text, whatever.
That is really cool. I did not think of that. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's collect what we have. Athletic, social, butterfly, good, clumsy, ambitious, whatever the fuck that means. I don't know. Should we try to brainstorm a title for the book, or should we just figure that out on our own?
I guess we can do a title, yeah. I also thought of maybe like a color.
Okay,
Maybe
yeah.
that's too limiting though. What do you think?
We can just see what pops up.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Green.
Oh, girl.
Nah, I take that back.
Yeah, no, let's spin it again. Let's pretend that didn't
Yeah, that never happened.
No!
No!
No fucking way.
Nuh-uh.
Stop.
Okay, last time.
Please.
Okay. Well, that's better, but
Yeah, like
kind of lame.
Just something warm, I guess.
Yeah.
We could do with that, yeah. We could do yellowish, I guess. Fixed in medieval.
True. And we can interpret it in our own way. Maybe add something really yellow in it instead of it being entirely yellow.
Yeah, definitely. And it could just be like inspiration. It doesn't have to be That same exact
Yeah,
one, right?
yeah. Do we need to add it in the end?
What do you mean? In the illustration?
On it.
Well, if you don't really like how it looks with the title, you could do 2 versions.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking about that.
Spear and the Moon.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a good one.
That kind of slays.
Yeah. So much information though, right?
You can alter it, whatever.
Yeah, of course. That's so cool. Okay, I'm pumped.
I kinda have some ideas already, but I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be very cliche, very what you expect to see, you know?
We're gonna see. I think it's gonna change.
Yeah.
As we work on it.
Oh, and it has to be emotional. Oh god. Girl.
Oh, just add like a tear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do either.
Okay, so maybe he does look like he's being held hostage, but I promise you he's fine. So we did a super fun art challenge with my girl Darkcryystal, and while on the topic of art challenges, I did want to talk about timed art challenges, kind of like Inktober. I planned on making this video in the start of October, but you know, shit happens and I wanted to make other videos first. So it might be November now, but I think art challenges is a topic that we artists always have going on. But especially with timed art challenges, like 30 artworks in 30 days, I just wanted to warn you that these art challenges that you may be doing may be fun, but they're quite dangerous. And I want to share my story of how I injured my hand doing Inktober 2018, I think. So it might have been 2017, I don't remember. But the thing is, I was in high school and I, of course, have been drawing my whole life. So I would draw all day in school because I didn't pay much attention to most of the classes, which means I would draw for about 8 full hours, and then I would return home and continue drawing because I wanted to do Inktober on my kitchen table because it was large and spacious, and I wanted to do it with black watercolor so it would look like actual ink. Don't mind me fixing the lighting halfway through. I felt like it was missing something. I wanted to make it a bit more atmospheric. So yeah, the vibe for this video, I wanted it to be spooky. I was thinking of dressing up a bit more goth-ish, but it's not October anymore, so that whole spooky vibe, I'm not feeling it anymore, so I'm just in my oversized as fuck Marvel shirt. So yeah, I would draw around 8 to 10 hours every day. And I really didn't feel that leaving a strain on my wrist or my hand. I would do it so regularly that I didn't really see a problem with it. My hand was fine, or so I thought. And then the scary part of this whole situation is that I didn't feel this creeping up on me. It just, one day I was fine, and then the next my hand started hurting so much, and especially my wrist. So it's also part of the reason why I'm not holding the mic like this anymore, because that would put a strain on my hand and it would hurt me. So I would look up artist hand exercises to do, because I had seen artists mention that you should do hand exercises so you won't get an injured hand. But actually, because some of the damage had already been done on my own hand, when I did these hand exercises, I think I made it a lot worse, because some of the hand exercises that were suggested to me in YouTube were to do your hand like this and just, you know, like really fast to kind of, I don't know, just remove the strain from your hand. And all of these exercises would really not work for me. They made my hand a lot worse. And so I then had to put one of those little blue gloves. I don't really have one around right now. I usually do, but I will include pictures of like a little medical glove. I would wear that to school just to, well, first of all, because I couldn't write, and even now, after all these years, writing makes my hand hurt a lot more than drawing. I don't know what it is. So I would wear these gloves and I would tell my teachers that I couldn't write. And I would use my left hand to take notes as much as I could, and I hadn't drawn for months. So this whole damage on my hand took place in October, and I went the full month of October and November not drawing. I tried drawing in November, but it made my hand a lot worse. And then I tried a little bit in December, but it was also not okay still. It really needed to rest. And so months passed by, and if you're an artist, and if you've been an artist your whole life, you know how heartbreaking it is to not be able to draw. So I was terrified. At first I thought it would just pass by. I thought it was gonna be maybe a couple of days, maybe a week max, that I wouldn't be able to draw. But then the people around me told me that it's permanent, and that put me in a depression, because I realized I will never be able to draw for so many hours ever again. So that is why whenever I see artists putting too much pressure on their hands and saying that, oh, my wrist started hurting very much, but I really wanted to finish this piece, so I kept drawing, I always go, stop. Please don't do that to yourself. Don't. If your hand hurts, take a break for at least 10 to 20 minutes. So yeah, I might sound like your mom telling you to stop drawing when your hand feels hurt, but it's just because I know how horrible it is for your hand to go through all of that and for you to not be able to draw. And it was also the year, I think, that I got my pen tablet, so I was also very excited to do digital art. So even on the weekends I would draw all day, all the time, and so it really took a toll on my hand. So at first I would just let it rest a lot more. A huge mistake that I did was I would put a bandage on it, because I knew that in this situation you usually put an arm brace, so you want something that will keep your hand straight like this. So I would do that with bandages because I didn't have an arm brace and I didn't want to go to the doctor for it. And I think the most important part about this whole situation is the precautions. I want to say how damaging this was because I had a bandage and it kept my hand still, but the problem is that it was very tight, resulting to my joints getting damaged and my fingers had swollen up. And that happened a year later, so a full 1.5 years afterwards I got that. And it was a combination of putting my hand in a bandage and also pressuring it. It was my first year in graphic design school, and we would do a lot of pencil sketching classes, which required a lot of, it did not require me to put a lot of pressure on my hand, but that is what I did. And I think subconsciously we all do it. We all put an unnecessary amount of pressure on our hands. So try as best as you can to either be careful of how much pressure you put on your hand, or if you cannot control that, just take breaks more often. And when you are taking breaks, don't type on your phone. Try to just do either this or these motions that I will probably voice over in a B-roll. So kind of doing the opposite position of when our hand is drawing, it's very closed like that. So when you're taking a break, try to open it and do this. Also, of course, do not crack your knuckles. I know it might be satisfying and it might feel relieving, but it's very bad for your joints. But a doctor told me that it's very bad to do it. And also, guys, we learned that in biology and I was not even paying attention. I was drawing half the time. So if I know that we shouldn't crack our knuckles, you should know it too. So try to refrain from doing that. So yes, the precautions, besides trying not to put too much strain on your wrist, and also I know many artists say try not to draw from your wrist, draw either with your elbow or from your shoulder. But that is very difficult to do when you're drawing on a small sketchbook, because you're working with a small space and it's more difficult to do large hand movements on a small space. So that is why you should just do breaks more often instead. Put a timer every 20 minutes maybe, and try for at least 1-2 minutes to stretch your hand a little bit. Drink water, drink your milk, stay hydrated. You really do not want to get that in your hand, trust me. So the other thing you can do if your hand is hurting, either while taking a break or after you've finished, you can put some ice on your wrist. Alternatively, I have a little ice pack that you can also warm up in the microwave. So heat also helps. Put ice on your wrist, but put warm on your joint and knuckles. Once again, that is what my doctor told me. I'm not saying I know this stuff. I'm just passing it on to you. And of course, I started by saying that I will be talking about art challenges, and then I talked about how to take care of your hands and wrists. So you might be wondering, what does art challenges have to do with that? Well, you're putting pressure on yourself, not only mentally but physically, to finish an art challenge that most of the artists that you see posting consistently don't actually do these challenges daily. Most likely they will have prepared a batch of posts even weeks before. That is why Inktober prompts also get released earlier. I really wish they could get released even more early so artists could prepare in a healthy amount and they wouldn't have to put so much pressure on themselves to finish these challenges on time. So if you do want to tackle an art challenge, keep in mind that none of these artists actually draw daily, because that can be damaging. And by drawing daily, I don't mean sketching to not lose the drawing streak. You can draw daily as long as you don't draw for multiple hours for many days straight, because that is what will damage your hands. So besides the physical dangers of art challenges, there is also a mental pressure that artists put on themselves, and I think that's toxic. Let's talk about that. So think to yourself, why are you doing this art challenge? We should tackle art challenges to learn new things and to draw things that we would never draw unless we had a certain prompt. Or maybe it's just fun to see how each artist interprets the same prompt. But no one is asking you to be consistent with this. You can either only do the prompts that you like, or you can just do rough sketches for something. Just get the idea out there, get the practice out there, learn from being consistent and all of that, but don't put an unnecessary amount of pressure on yourself. No one expects you to do this daily. And if they do, they will not be disappointed if you abandon it for your own well-being. It's not that serious. On the contrary, art challenges are very fun, and I do encourage you to come up with your own art challenges even. So there are many art challenges already out there. There is Inktober, where you are supposed to draw with ink or only in black and white, and there are prompts. There is also Mermaid, where you draw a mermaid each day of May, and there are also prompts for that. The 100 head challenge is one that I really enjoyed doing when I was younger, and if you look up on Pinterest 100 heads, there will be many boards of other people have portraits painted. And the reason why I really like this challenge is because it's not just conventionally pretty girls with big lips and small noses and big eyes and all of these anime features. There are older people, wrinkled faces, scarred faces, just variety of portraits that I think is very useful to do. So my friend Darkcryystal and I, her name is Alexandra, and let's call her Alex, we have done a bunch of art challenges in the past, and I do encourage you to do them if you have art friends. Another one that is more fun to do if your art styles with your friends are a little bit more similar, because the problem with mine and Alex's art style is that her art style is very realistic. There is no line art, there is a lot of heavy shading, contrast and all of that. just very rendering based. On the contrary, my artwork is very line art based. It's a lot more comic stylized. So we cannot do that one in particular, which is you can do a sketch and have one person do the line art and then have the other person color and render it. So many art challenges to consider. Another one we do is with color palettes. We will generate a random color palette and draw whatever we want. There are just many art challenges that you can do, or you can paint over each other's art, either old art so it's not as controversial and offensive, so art that you know needs work and improvement. You can send it to your artist friends and see how they would fix it. Just have fun with art, be open to learning, and don't take it too seriously at first. We do art because we have to, so don't make yourself unable to make art, please. It's okay to stop. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay if you're feeling burnt out and you don't want to draw for a bit. That is okay too. Sometimes we have started doing art challenges and then we will not be feeling it along the way and we just drop them. It's fine. The goal is to have fun and develop your skills and make something you're proud of. So let me talk a little bit about this art piece that I did for this art challenge. The reason why this character is not dressed is because I had this concept in mind. You saw the traits that we rolled. We rolled athletic, clumsy, social butterfly, and so I wanted this vampire. Although they are a vampire and they are a monster, I wanted them to be very friendly and sociable and liked amongst society. So in my head, this story was taking place in a relatively small kingdom where the noble family had the say in laws and everything like that. And this vampire, whose name I have not come up with, so feel free to suggest in the comments. I thought that maybe they were very liked amongst people. I was even thinking of maybe they were selling their body and they were a very preferred, not client, but a very preferred option for clients and the brothel. And I think I might be a little inspired by Astarion with this specific story. And the reason why I wanted it to be a little bit dark like that is because there is a spear through their heart. And I thought of the back cover quote being, "Would you let an innocent monster die for your sins?" So I wanted a character that, although they are liked, their position in society is very controversial. But I was thinking that maybe then religion took over that kingdom and they were making new laws. So with religion taking charge in the new city's laws, or village rather, of course people in that field of work, and especially monsters, supernatural creatures, would have to be executed. And so this book cover is, I imagine that it's taking place, either it is symbolic, so maybe the vampire character was executed a different way, maybe a more brutal way, but I wanted the cover to be a bit more symbolic. So that is why also the spear has a cross detail on it, and the vampire is looking up to the candlelight. I didn't want this to feel religious, as I am not following any specific religion. I do not want anyone else that does follow a religion to be offended by any of my artworks. So the story is not to say anything about religion, it's just a story. I was thinking maybe they took the blame for something that their lover did, and that is why the roses are there. You will see me telling all of that to my friend in the reveal in the end, so I'm not gonna explain any more things because I don't want you all to be listening to the same stuff twice. But yeah, that is the thing with art challenges. It is something that I would have never drawn by myself because my artworks lack story. I usually just create a character, there may be a background, there usually is not a background, and in this artwork there's not a background either, but there is a story. And first of all, I would never go through the trouble of making the font and making a title, rendering the title to fit and all of that. But I think it came out really good. And I mean, could have been better, but I don't think I will ever be satisfied with something that I create. But it's fine, it's good enough. I am happy enough with this one. And yeah, I just think it's very special. That is why I encourage you to create art challenges. But just find art games to heal your soul. And just don't put too much pressure on yourself when it comes to art. So promise me that you will not strain your hand more than it can. As soon as you feel your hand getting too tired, leave the pencil down. And even if you don't feel it getting tired, still leave the pencil down. Take a break. Stretch your hands, because I did not feel a strain on my hand when I got this injury. It just came. If you have any story ideas, for example, before I spoiled the story to you, did you think of any other story? Feel free to comment that, or name ideas for our characters, and the reaction will come up shortly. So yeah, if you watched this far, leave a skull emoji below. Thanks for watching and sticking around. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Okay, so how was the whole experience? How did the prompts treat you?
Well, it was very tricky. It was kind of difficult. It was fun gathering references, but for like the first day, I didn't know what direction to go to. I don't know if I'm very satisfied with what I drew, but it was something new. I don't really do these things, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, for me too. It's something that I don't think I would have ever drawn by myself. So that was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I spent so long on this. I think an embarrassing amount of time. It took me.
How much?
It took me 9.5 hours.
Girl.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was an embarrassing amount of time, especially because I don't consider the end result to be that impressive for the amount of time that it took me. But it is what it is.
What was the most difficult part for you? Or do you want to talk about it after the reveal?
No, I don't mind. I think the lighting, because I really tried to do something, and
okay.
Yeah, it just didn't come out as dramatic and as atmospheric as I thought it would. I like how it ended up, but I'll show you the results so you can have context, and we can talk more. Okay.
I would say mine took about maybe 6-7 hours.
Okay. I really feel like
I don't really record the time.
Yeah. I really feel like my reaction will be the clip of the Good Omens guys that were like, "You did not paint that this morning." Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah? And yours? You did that?
Yeah, just this morning.
Fuck off!
I know that'll be how I feel. Okay. Are you ready? Did we send them?
Well, one thing. Okay, I want to say one thing. The book version, because I did the painting first and then the cover, the cover is a little lame.
No, it's okay. On 3?
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Internet speed.
Oh!
Bitch!
Okay, damn.
Not to completely sync to her reaction. Wow!
Wow. Girl.
Oh, I
First of
love
all,
that. Yeah.
You say you're not satisfied? Girl, what?
I mean,
This is like, look, as an outsider, this is like a level higher than your regular work or something, because the lettering, the border, the roses, hello.
Oh, the roses were such a bitch to render. I was I was so tired of rendering them, and you can tell they're half-assed, but whatever, it's fine.
Not really.
Okay, good. So yeah, I really like the golden letters. I spent a lot of time on them, but it was very therapeutic working on them.
By hand?
Yeah. Well, the letters is a font, but I did the golden, effect on hand.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. It's amazing. I just put like the gradient on Illustrator over mine.
Yeah, no, it looks fine. Your illustration is so good. Can you send me like just the illustration also? Okay, so the moon and the bats in the background is very in character. It's very your brand.
It's cute that we both give the character like blondish white hair.
Yeah, I think it's the vampiric thing to do. And because we had the color yellow, I kind of wanted their hair to seem yellow as well.
Yeah, I get it.
The abs, the body is insane.
The body T.
Yes, and the body in the background. Like, that is insane. It's so good. I love the spear, but I don't know. I just can't stop looking at the area of the abs, not in a straight girly attracted to them way. In like the lighting, the blue, it's so good.
Thank you.
I kind of wanted mine to look like there was a candlelight as well.
Yeah, no, I can feel it. I can feel the warmth.
I mean, sure, but so my problem with this was that I wanted it to make it very purple and yellow, but for the lighting to feel atmospheric like I wanted it to, I feel like the shadows had to be warm. So because I made the shadows purple, the feeling, the atmosphere is not quite there, but I don't mind it also.
Okay.
Also, I like how we both used the spear in completely different ways.
Right.
Your vampire is, the aggressive one, and mine is the passive one. I think that's really cool.
Right.
Did you come up with a story while you were illustrating this? Anything?
There is a bit of a story.
Okay.
I also wanted to say that it's really cute that we gave the character blood and like red eyes.
Yeah, definitely the red eyes.
They both have abs.
I mean, they had to be athletic.
It.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of a story. It's not very well thought.
Yeah, mine either.
Basically, it's like this vampire was. I was thinking I had like a vampire king, and he really trusted a person. They wanted to hurt him, actually. So he had to defend himself, even though he loved them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he used the spear to kill them, stuff like that. He had to put up a fight, and that's why he's sad.
Yeah, that's very cool. And what is going on with the shirt situation? What happened there?
He just had to be sexy while killing a random person.
Okay. Okay.
The fight was rough.
I bet. So mine, I had a quote in mind. You know how in the back cover there is sometimes a quote and then the little description.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So for the quote, I thought of, would you let an innocent monster die for your sins?
Damn.
And because the traits, I was looking at the traits, which were athletic, social butterfly, good, clumsy, and ambitious. And the athletic, they're obviously buff, so that covers it.
Yeah.
But for social butterfly and good, I was thinking, and ambitious, because they're supposed to be ambitious. That's why I gave them the golden jewelry, because I was thinking maybe they're part of the noble family or maybe they're friends to the noble family. And I was thinking that even though they're a vampire and they're a monster, they're good and they had many friends. but maybe like the laws of the kingdom changed or something, and they had to be publicly executed.
Whoa.
So kind of like,
Okay.
have you seen the Green Mile?
Yeah.
So kind of like how he had died even though he was innocent and he looked like a monster or whatever, but he was innocent and they still executed him.
Yeah.
That was kind of the vibe, like an innocent dying for your sins. Maybe they blamed them for something that they didn't do. Something like that, I don't know. Maybe they were covering for a person they loved, because there's also the roses, so maybe it could have like a romantic undertone. So yeah, that was kind of the story I was thinking. It's not very well thought out, but I had to think of why they're stabbed with a spear.
Damn. Okay. I mean, I can sense it all.
Yeah, and the moon is supposed to be, you know, the, oh my god, what is it called? The circle behind their head is a symbolic moon or whatever.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I kind of cooked that in a little bit.
That's amazing. It almost kind of looks religious.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I kind of wanted to avoid that. At first, it looked more religious, but I didn't want it to be controversial. I didn't want that to be, you know, the subject of it. So I kind of changed it, but I think it's still there. Just the golden accents and the columns and the cross and everything. I think it's kind of inevitable.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
And it looks so good.
thank you.
And I love the color palette. Also, the roses with the purple shadow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I like that too. And also I considered, because I wanted this to be like a book cover sample of like what I can do, and I considered making their face very stereotypically pretty, but I didn't want to do that just to make them conventionally pretty. I wanted their face to look a little bit monster-like.
Okay.
So that's why their face is kind of fucked up.
And the skin color too.
Yeah.
Okay.
The skin color was completely different before I did the shading. It was just like a pale pink. But then because the shadows were purple, their skin ended up looking purple also.
Okay. I like it.
Okay, but feedback time. What would you change? What would you do differently maybe?
So, because we didn't have like a very specific story, I think that I'm satisfied with what I'm seeing when it comes to the story you made.
Okay.
Like, it's amazing. It's great. I wouldn't change anything about that, about the character's design. Probably just like a few more ornaments on the body itself.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of detail on the border and on the roses, but the body is lacking a little bit.
Yeah, I see that.
Maybe some more jewelry, maybe like handcuffs.
Yeah, that's what I thought of too. Maybe arm braces and shit like that.
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sensing that the torso might be a little thin.
Oh, definitely, girl. I looked up anatomy after I finished that. And I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know why I did that. I did a traditional sketch first. It's like a tiny thumbnail. I'll send it to you. And the traditional sketch has very fucked up anatomy. So I did fix it a lot in the digital one, but it was still very fucked up. But I only noticed that when I was like I had rendered it and everything, and I'm like, it is what it is now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Well, the finished one is great.
Thank you.
That font is amazing.
Okay, but come on, you gotta give me at least some more criticism. There's gotta be something.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, generally, I do think your work needs some more shadows, harsher shadows, because, like, for example, the armpits are kind of blending in.
Okay, yeah.
They can use a bit more contrast. And some shadows on the hair also, because I can see that the neck is in shadow, but the hair behind is it's light, I I think.
Yeah, I find it difficult to make very harsh shadows, but we'll get there.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. It's difficult and it's scary sometimes, but I think you got it with elements that you might not draw often. Because, for example, the border, it's very detailed and very dark, and I think that maybe because you don't do that often, you're more willing to risk there.
Yeah.
So that's about it. A little bit more anatomy, just like the body, the torso, and shadows. Other than that, I mean, the expression is everything. The mood, the lights, the colors.
Yay!
It's great.
Thank you.
Now, what about mine? What would you change?
Okay, so yours is obviously great. The first thing that came to my mind is that they're just very, very masculine presenting. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so the first thing I would change is either maybe their clothing could be a bit more gender fluid, or I mean, because they have both short hair and the mustache and everything. I mean, gender fluid people don't have to be neutral presenting, they can be masculine presenting, but I
Yeah.
think they're a bit too masculine presenting in your own, and mine is also shirtless and buff, so there's that. But I had them covering their chest, not only because of the spear, but to kind of hide their body also, because I thought of, So yeah, just either the outfit or I don't know, maybe the hair, maybe something. Because I mean, if someone didn't know, they would just assume that they're male.
No, I get it. I was struggling. Yeah, it was kind of hard. I couldn't figure out ways to... I mean, I could figure out ways to make them have more feminine characteristics, for example, but it felt like nothing worked. It was difficult to fit all the elements together, so...
Okay, yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna go through with this.
I think just the outfit, if instead of a belt, they had a corset or something.
Right.
Or maybe if, just the chest situation, if the outfit was a bit different there. I think that would have saved it. But I mean, girl, obviously I have nothing else to say. It's great. The story is great. It's there. You can tell what's going on pretty clearly. It is emotional because you can see the guilt in their face. So...
Okay.
And especially in the book cover, like, if you see it in a small image, it literally looks like a picture. It looks so good. Like, the rendering is...
Really?
It's so good.
Thank you.
So yeah, of course, I don't have anything else to say.
Okay, are the colors alright? Would you change anything about that?
Yeah, I was thinking just now that there's not a lot of yellow, but it's fine. The rules were there just as a guide, just as inspiration, I feel like. So I don't mind it.
There was a lot of yellow at first because of the torch lights and all that.
Yeah.
There was some on the skin, but with rendering and the lighting from the moon kind of changed.
Yeah, no, I think it's still there. It's still there. And I like it. I wouldn't change it.
Okay.
It's really nice. I like the piercings also. Like, you add so many little details to your characters. I love that. I love how they're both rough but detailed at the same time. I really like that.
Thank you. I sometimes feel that I don't add enough sometimes. Oh, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think this one is fine. This one's great.
I think I'm lacking with character design when it comes to the actual story and the elements.
Well, maybe more bulky shapes, more expressive shapes. But with this specific one, there are a lot of angles. Like in the red,
Right.
in the cape. their design is very angular, so you know the elements are there. Maybe a bit more intentional with the details.
No, you're right, because the angular shapes came with rendering. There was no thought put into them.
So yeah, maybe getting their character, like what would they wear and why would they wear it.
Yeah, maybe you should make a video on that.
I am planning to, kind of.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Honestly, I would be down for more challenges and games like that. You get out of your comfort zone, I think.
Yeah, I think that's why they're nice also. How would you rate this experience?
I'm giving this challenge 5 stars because it's amazing that you get to improve your skills, play around with things and not take everything seriously.
Yeah.
Like you do with your original stuff. And I can't wait for more.
Okay, girl.
And it's so fun to do them with you also.
Thank you. There will be more. Definitely. We will come up with more
Right.
stuff.
Hell yeah.